Hey, you guys, welcome back. Here's the thing. I've been here long enough that I'm dreaming of winter. Yes, the kid from Iowa who lived in California for years and griped every time it got below 45 degrees is a new man. I can't wait. We're ready to go already, and my first guests this evening are fellows who I am certain are already ready to go. It's been too long since these guys have been here, but I'm really excited that they were able to make some time to come and hang out with me and Mr. Buddy and chat about the upcoming season, and most importantly, chat about their burgeoning company who's been out there doing it for a few years now. Things are continuing to grow, and of course, in the era of social media, everyone who gets the gram, Snapchat, and more is making the most of their brand. I'm so excited to welcome back. It is the co-founders of Panda Poles. It's Oakley White-Allen and the TanSnowMan, Tanner Rosenthal. Nice. Hi, boys. Welcome back.
Terry, thanks for
good to see you guys.
That was great. Yeah.
How's life?
It's chugging along, man. It's good. Life's good.
Yeah, just right.
Yeah.
Things are good.
Good summer so far?
Yeah. I actually just got back. I was in Hawaii visiting my dad for a couple weeks, and just got back last week. So now I'm feeling like ready to get back into syncing up with business and chugging away at our wholesale orders, which we're working on hard this summer. So.
Refreshed, relaxed,
yeah,
ready to crank.
Yeah, totally.
Very cool. I don't imagine that much of our audience would be unfamiliar with your company, but you guys talk about the background of how it occurred to you guys, one, to make ski poles, and two, to turn it into a company. It's not an easy thing to do. Everybody talks about it. It sounds really fun, but it's work. Yeah.
Yeah, running a business is it's straight up insanity. About 10 to 20% of the time. The other 80 to 90% of the time, it's a complete joy, and I feel completely honored to have had this come into my life. But yeah, I guess basically. Where it all started was Oakley and I were working together in a ski shop at Snowbird in 2008, and one night I had a vision come to me. It was more or less like spirit came down out of the clouds, and it was like, Tanner, you must do this. Here's these ski poles, and I could see them clear as day. These bamboo ski poles with big hemp straps and cone-shaped basket, and it looked like a samurai sword. And it hit me so hard that I went to Oakley the next day, and I was like, dude, I had this vision. And I shared it with him, and he's like, we need to make this happen. It makes total sense to me. And so we kind of made the spiritual agreement at that time to commit to this project. And you know, he and I spent a few years testing, and you know, by testing it just means like going shredding as hard as we could on the mountain with whatever we came up with. But so there was a lot of fun involved with the testing period.
That's awesome. But
eventually got to the point where we felt comfortable bringing a product to market and creating a website. So in 2011, we launched the website, pandapoles.com. And that was January 18th, 2011.
The 18th.
Yep. It was supposed to be 111-11, but it ended up being 118-11. You know, numerology is kind of a cool thing to me. So,
that's cool.
But 118-11 worked out great. So.
Yeah, and I suppose if you just went to that, the date in the middle, 1 and 8, 9.
Yeah, 11811. Yeah, it's great.
And 1 plus 8 has some magical qualities.
It worked out perfectly.
That's awesome. That's cool. Oakley, talk about what it was like to kind of get that idea presented to you with, I assume from the beginning, with the intention that this is something that
well, it resonated with me right away because I had a similar vision years before living in Whistler, but I didn't go anywhere with it. You know, it didn't turn into even a prototype for me. It was just an idea. I liked the idea of a bamboo pole, and I had seen even some some baskets on race poles that were cone shaped. And I thought to myself, wow, it'd be cool if they were just a little bigger so we could use that in the powder, and maybe it wouldn't catch up in the branches so bad. So when Tanner brought this idea to me, I mean, he was speaking to the choir, and I was on board right away. It was. It looks
so talk about the first constructions of the poles starting from scratch. And we'll take a look at a video here in a moment that, for folks who aren't familiar, that it's kind of a fun, cool sort of explanation of your product line. But talk about that early testing from the standpoint of, can we make this work? We know that bamboo has great tensile strength. It's not omnidirectional, but it's certainly a pretty magical material and kind of perfect for ski poles.
Yeah, totally. Well, you know, honestly, that was probably the hardest part about it, was finding the right bamboo and finding a supplier that we could get it from that wasn't just going to rip us off or something. So finding the right bamboo is tricky. There's 1,200 different species of bamboo, and in order to find which one will actually work for ski poles involved a lot of phone calls and emails, and eventually we found some semi-solid species. They call them solid stem bamboo, which there's only about 10, 12 species of solid stem out of 1,200.
Wow.
So narrowing that down and then finding a supplier that had one of those 12 species, that was really difficult. Eventually we found a supplier in Vietnam and India that did that for us, and even 4 years ago we planted some plants in Georgia, which we'll hopefully be pulling canes off of in the next year or so.
No kidding. That's great.
The other difficult aspect, sorry buddy, the other difficult aspect was creating our cone-shaped baskets, and that's where we brought in my friend Johnny Anitzberger to help with the manufacture, figuring out how to manufacture this. He got the drawings done up. A friend of his helped him with the drawings. We sent those off to a liquid injection manufacturer in the Midwest, and once we had something that looked like it was going to work for us and that we had kind of tested, we popped the basket on the bamboo and figured out how to attach grips on there, and started cranking them out. But you know, that was, of course, hundreds of hours condensed down into
absolutely,
you know, 30
and a lot
seconds.
of broken poles. I mean, we broke a bunch of different varieties of bamboo before we realized that solid wall was the bamboo that was going to hold up for us.
For sure.
Yeah, some of them were really pretty.
But not quite worthy for skiing.
Right, right. From a business standpoint, it occurs to me that, 'cause as an old business guy, I'm sort of thinking through like those challenges, and it occurs to me that in some ways you were really almost a step ahead of the game because of a product that can have really positive attributes without having to be super technology or super complex to manufacture. Of course, we know lots of business school case stories of people who had amazing idea that the logistics of actually making the thing. It occurs to me that you guys must have had a good sense all along of, we can figure it out, and then we can actually do this without it being a really heavy a process to get to workable prototypes, etc.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point. Originally, when I was 15, I started competing in moguls, and as a mogul skier, we always used really short poles.
Right.
So I had this idea back then to start a company, a ski pole company that used short poles or promoted shorter poles, different sizing guide, and use recycled aluminum instead of standard aluminum. But I could never wrap my head around where do I get aluminum and how do I turn it into a ski pole? Right. And then, like I say, when that vision hit me, it just all kind of clicked into place. It was like, oh yeah, bamboo, it grows like that. You know, it's not this thing that you have to machine or put all this process into. So it was very simple, as well as being sustainable. You know, we're actually sequestering more CO2 out of the atmosphere than it takes to manufacture our product. So, awesome. So you know, that factors in, and it really hit all those points, and you know, made complete sense.
I'm envisioning like the excitement you guys must have had at that time, going, we can do this. Hey, you guys, let's take a quick break. I want to take a look at the video after we come back, and also, of course, talk about the future. Hey, you guys, we'll be back. It's Oakley and Tanner from Panda Poles. More after this.
Pretty old.
Welcome back. It's time to talk about ski season. It's a typical thing if you live in Utah that as much as it's absolutely beautiful outside, we're excited. We're ready to go. And we're talking skiing with the fellows from Panda Poles. Welcome back, you guys. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
It's good to see you. It's been too long. It's been...
Yeah, I think it was 2011, 2012.
Yeah, when I kind of first started. Yeah, so... Appreciate having
yeah,
you guys back.
you were like breakthrough, man. If it wasn't for that show, we probably would have never made it.
Oh. You're funny, man. Speaking of funny, should we take a look at a little bit of video that I think really nicely communicates, of course, the product and the brand or the product attributes and all that, but kind of a vibe of the Panda Poles brand, huh?
Yeah, I mean video is like our thing. We've always put out videos, and it's a big reason why we have the tribe that's come around us. But yeah, videos are jam.
Very cool. Should we take a look, Rob? All right.
Hi, I'm TanSnowMan, creator of Panda Poles, Magic Ski Wand. I also happen to be a professional expert. With over 7,800 different potential combos on the website, it's important to know what you're gonna get. Let's start off with bamboo. There are two types of bamboo to choose from. Both feature our excellent warranty. The first is raw. Named for the Egyptian sun god, this dense boo is grown in Vietnam, sun-dried under the pristine Southeast Asian sunlight. With a cream-colored finish, our raw boo is heavy-duty, burly, and raw. Up next is Toasty Bamboo. Toasty is the life of the party. Not only is it a coffee-colored charmer, but this beautiful Indian-grown cane has the strength to make aluminum seem like tinfoil. Hi-ya! Up next is grips. There are 4 grip choices. Our shortest grip is the 6-inch grasshopper. Then we've got the 9-inch Shogun, which allows for multiple hand positions. And the 11-inch Katana is our answer to telescoping poles for side country access. These grips come with a ribbed texture for a comfortable feel. The 8-inch Ninja Grip is simple, sleek, and agile, with tactile diamond texture for control. And then you've got straps. Some people like to hang loose. For them, we suggest strapless. For those who like to keep it simple, there is the reg strap. Add some cushy hemp padding to the reg, and you've got the fatty. Like most standard straps, the mid strap is completely adjustable. Serving mostly as a tether, the Katana strap is extra long to allow for multiple hand positions. Add some cushy hemp padding to the Katana, and you've got the jaw. Finally, you've got our basket selection. With 4 basket styles, there's something to suit any condition. The 10-centimeter powder cone is basically only good for powder. The 9-centimeter Katana works great for everything, and it looks like a throwing star. The 7-centimeter Powder Pro works for everything as well, and it looks like a martini glass. The 5-centimeter Skier X is designed for ice, park, moguls, or for any skier who wants increased agility. We hope you've enjoyed this magical journey today. We look forward to getting some pandas in your paws someday soon. Tribe up.
Especially CBD.
Whoa.
Magic ski wands, really.
Yeah, as you can tell, humor is a big part of what we do, and magic is very intricately intertwined with that.
Well, and it occurs to me that the fact that you're using natural resources as a part of the fabrication of your product, there's some Mother Earth magic in there as well. So I think it makes sense. And as you say, the tribe has kind of gathered around you guys, around the vibe and that goodness that, I don't know, I'm imagining that you guys have some, I don't know, experience or sense of kind of like anti-technology in a way. It's like, here's this amazing natural thing that is designed for us, but by the same token, it's like, oh yeah, I have bamboo ski poles. Like, that's pretty cool.
Well, it's kind of like a fusion of technology, the zero drag basket, that's a technological evolution.
Truly.
And then pairing that with bamboo, so it's really a fusion of future or tradition and future technology. Which I think figuring out a way where humans can fuse our technological zeal with honoring the earth is really where we need to go as a species.
Well said.
So.
And it occurred to me when you made the comment about being in the trees that design, the conical design is right, there's technology right there. I mean, that's something even as a barely skier, like I could envision that immediately. Like, that.
Well, where that came from, I've had 2 shoulder surgeries on my left shoulder, so I'm very sensitive to snagging my poles in the trees, and it just really made sense to have that. And I love skiing the trees, so if I've got something where my poles are getting grabbed, I'm not into that. So that solved it for us.
Very
So.
cool. So what's up next for you guys? What are you thinking about? What are you looking at for coming season or beyond? Is there an overarching goal for Panda Poles?
Well, I mean, really at this point, the goal is to is more or less to stay afloat as a business in the economy where it is currently, and in the snow world where it is currently. Seasons are getting shorter, more interspersed. It's harder to really tap into growth as easily as it used to be. And so really at this point we're actually pulling back a little bit instead of branching out, and pulling back so we can stabilize and then branch out to eventually be producing hydrogen-powered human-sized quadcopters 20 years down the road.
We're going to stick a pin in it for just 1 second. Hydrogen-powered,
Human-sized quadcopters.
human-sized, important, human-sized quadcopters.
One that you could ride onto the top of the mountain.
Hashtag bad country.
Yeah, you ride to the top, it films you the whole way down, picks you up, you do it again. So that's where we'd
insane.
like to go. This Panda Poles was the first seed that we planted, and now it's getting to the point where it can produce its own seeds hopefully in the next few years, and we want to plant those seeds and create new businesses and business models out of that, which could eventually get to human-sized quadcopters.
I love
it.
But
I think that's going to be in my head all night tonight. I'm going to be thinking about that, about how fun that day will be when it comes, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's
I
all.
want one, you know?
I want one.
everybody wants one, man.
So you guys are up in. You mentioned that you're up in Idaho now. Oakley's still here physically in Utah, but you're up in.
In Pocatello.
Oh,
Yeah, I moved up to Pocatello, which is where I grew up, in 2013, January 2013. My son was born in 2012, and it made more sense to move the business closer to family, and had shop space to use. My stepdad let us use his shop space and had babysitters and that type
Right.
of thing. So that's really where the move came in, and it's been a good few years there, but I'm feeling like I'm ready to break out of that shell. It's been a good incubator, but I've got a lot more to be doing, and Pocatello has kind of served its purpose, and I'm ready to move beyond. And so now I've actually got my sights set on Powder Mountain in northern Utah,
that.
and I plan to be working with them next year, filming with them and producing video content out of there, and really that's going to be more or less the Panda Poles ski headquarters for next season.
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Amazing ski area.
Yeah.
It's probably not a part of my job description to pick favorites, but let's just say that I have so much love for Powder Mountain. And as we discussed, our pal JP Goulet up there, who is
He's
just
a man.
good people and
Yeah.
keeps a really special vibe, and I'm sure that you guys see a commonality of sort of the good old days of maybe what it used to be like when skiing wasn't quite so crazy popular here in Utah, but certainly
Right.
Powder Mountain's still great. So good
Yeah.
association.
Well, it's just got the right vibe.
Yeah.
It's all about vibe to us. Like, vibe is everything, and what JP's got going on, and just what Powder Mountain has going on right now feels like a really it's in sync. It's what we're about, so it's.
There may not be a better après ski than the Brothers Brim and the Powder Keg after a killer day.
Go see Whitey.
Absolutely.
He's the bartender. Just in case
So
anybody's
many
wondering.
great folks up there for sure. And you might not think that a kind of an old time ski area is the best place to get ramen noodles, but
Dude, the food at Powder.
seriously good.
Yeah, the food it's amazing. Chef
It really
Haru.
is. Yes,
Chef
indeed.
Haru's the man.
Thanks for coming, you guys. It's great to see you, and let's make an agreement to not let it be so long.
Yeah, man.
And I guess final thing is do all the social media so folks can follow along.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
What's your handles?
Yeah, at Panda Poles on Instagram, Panda Poles on Facebook, Oakley White-Allen on Instagram.
Yeah, at Oakley White-Allen, or just Panda Poles.
Yeah, at Panda Poles on Instagram, or follow us on Facebook. Our website also has plenty of contact info. We've got media pages on there, video pages, just pandapoles.com.
It's a fun website. I don't say that very often sitting in this
Right.
particular spot, but I enjoy the website. It's a
Yeah,
great
thanks,
job, you
man.
guys. And of course,
Appreciate it.
social media as well. Thanks so much for coming to visit. Best wishes for continued success, and we'll see you
Right
out
on.
there as soon as the snow flies.
Well, thanks
Cheers,
for having
buddies.
us, Terry. Really
Absolutely.
appreciate it, man.
Good to see you guys. All right, you guys, it is the Tan Snowman, Tanner Rosenthal, and Oakley White-Allen from Panda Poles. Go follow them. They're a ton of fun, great people making fantastic product and, of course, very much of our part of the world. Support them just like you do Park City Television. We're going to take a quick break. The fellas are going to come back, play some more tunes. We'll chat with them as well. I sure hope you'll stay tuned because I think I love you.